bumpy. The bumper, it's just, it's not that aggressive. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh.
Welcome back to our Rat Rod Integra, where we're going to complete the mechanical refresh on this car. And if you watched the previous episode, you'll know we've already swapped back in the stock GSR cams, did the timing belt, did an intake and exhaust system. So today is all about suspension, brakes, wheels and tires, and even a couple of small cosmetic upgrades.
So despite this car looking the way it does, we certainly want it to perform well, and we've gone with our recipe for success. Starting off with a bunch of hard race parts. We did not go with the adjustable upper control arm here because when you see our wheel and tire setup, you'll understand we don't need it. We wanted to keep things simple. Down below though, we did go with a tubular setup, which is an upgrade over OE. And for brakes, this is actually a Type R setup, a 5-lug. So we've gone with our Pro Series OE Plus rotors and pads. We love these for the street, low dust and good initial bite. And you saw me use some FluidFilm Black, which is a wool wax protectant and penetrant on a bunch of these areas. And given the state of this vehicle, the FluidFilm is certainly coming in handy here, and a big thanks to them for sponsoring this video series. So if you're looking for any FluidFilm, certainly click the link in the description. Speaking of links in the description, you'll be able to source these Annex Fast Road Pro coilovers from our website as well, and we love them. They are a comfort, like street spec setup that we've spec'd for our like bumpy roads and potholes that we have around here. They ride really well. With the front end pretty much complete, it is time we now move on to doing the rear. And as you can see, the setup here is also in dire need of a refresh. I see bushings that are burnt out. We've got old coilovers and more rust, but we are gonna take care of all of that. Even though this thing looks like a rusty beast, I am thankful we didn't really have any major issues with bolts being seized up, so that's a good thing. As you guys saw, same treatment in the rear. Hard race arms, all sourced from Stage 4 Motorsports, put in. The one bushing we didn't do was the, what is this, the trailing arm?
Yep.
Yeah, because that one's already been done. So that's a good thing, that saves a bunch of time there. And I think, really the only thing we are waiting on right now are sway bar end links because they were trashed and I had to order some up, but that is really it for the suspension here.
As for a wheel and tire package, as you can see, we are kicking it old school with these Integra Type R wheels. This is a USDM wheel that we've had refinished in an OEM silver by our buddy JP at Stripping Tech. And for those of you who care about specs, they're 15x6 plus 50. So they're not gonna be like 2024 super flush, super aggressive. They're gonna have a vintage vibe to them. And for tires, we have gone with Continental's Extreme Contact Force. This is their 200 tread wear track tire, endurance racing tire, but it is still DOT legal. And you can see it does have some good tread depth on it. So it'll work just fine on the street. We wanted all the grip because, well, you know, this car is not a race car, but it's gonna do some
it's
things.
destined for turbo goodness, let's just say that, in the future.
It's definitely gonna do some spicy things. So we wanted a spicy compound on here. And there you get an idea of how it's gonna look. So let's bolt these on and, well, we gotta fix the ride height too, don't we, PT? Just doing a quick camber check here to see that we're in the ballpark, and we are. So we did rough in a quick toe alignment just so the car will drive straight. But really the reason I have our wheel stands out is to set the ride height. So I've gone around and around in circles here to get the ride height to where I want it. Not a process we bothered showing you, but I think it is worth mentioning that if you want to be able to do your own alignments or even get a flat level platform set up in your home garage so that you can get an accurate adjustment done on your ride height, HP Academy has a course for that. So if you go to hpacademy.com and use the discount code in the description below, you'll get a deal on any of their courses, but they do have a course specifically for alignments, DIY alignments.
We are moving on to some cosmetic stuff, and by that I mean a front lip. This car already, I just think it's got the right amount of patina. It's just missing the front lip because look at, DP, the bumper, it's just, it's not that aggressive.
Yeah.
So onto eBay I went, picked up an $80 or $50 front lip. However, I just don't like it flat black or satin black or whatever you want to call it. So I think I'm gonna paint this. And the beauty of painting this is I don't have to care. So I'm just gonna go down a local paint shop, pick up a spray can and just bomb this. Front lip is painted and just drying. So in the meantime, I came up with the great idea of replacing or taking off the front bumper because I want to replace the headlights, which I'll show you why in a moment. However, someone has decided to use a Robertson screw on...
For our American viewers, what's a Robertson screw, Peter?
A square?
Square head, yes.
Yes,
The most strippable of all heads.
Well, it should never be used on an automobile. That's what it comes down to, DP.
You know that's a Canadian fastener type, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you're telling me the Americans don't have square
No, dude, that's a Canadian thing.
screws? What?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if I can take this thing out. It's rotted here so I can show you guys. Oh, it's so rotted in here. But this has no place in the automotive world.
And I'm probably wrong that they don't have it in the States, Pete, but it was invented by a Canadian.
Okay,
So.
all right. So we'll do we want to claim fame to that? I don't even think so because it should definitely not be on here. They strip like crazy and I can't even get it out because it's all rotted in here and it's spinning.
Oh, you guys got to comment below. What's worse, Robertson or Allen head? What's more strippable, PT?
See, those are two different things. I would say the Allen is actually more strippable, even though it has more points. I find the Robertsons don't strip as badly as the Allens do, so I'd say I'd go with the Allens. I hate Allens, and my favorite, I'd say Torx out of those weird wonky ones. Torx is the way to go.
Torx
Those never strip.
Of the wonky fasteners, Torx is the winner. And apologies to everyone named Allen.
I got this Robertson somewhat out of here. You can see, look at, it's so rotted. It's like jammed in there. I can't get that out. So I'm gonna have to do something. This is now starting to fall apart. Wow, that's rusty, DP.
Yeah.
Man, do I love the rusts. I love rust so much. It's like my favorite thing, rust. These headlights. So there's like a bunch of HID stuff running here. Not great, don't love that. But these, they're aftermarket and that's not oh so bad. What is bad is the halo. Look at that. That is just atrocious.
It's incomplete halo.
Yeah, so bad.
It's so weak.
Just so weak, so bad. It should never ever be on here. Thankfully, the previous owner did keep the original headlights around, so they are here, and I'm gonna swap them out. Like, look at that. That's gonna look 100 times better than it did. And I think it is finally time we can get back to putting that lip back on here. eBay lip is on here and just had to whip up some brackets here to hold this thing up. The fitment on it is actually, I think, very, very good. The color match is close. I think if I would have clear coated this, it would have been better, but then it would have been too shiny. I was going for that, not so shiny look. I almost feel like I got to come in here, DP, with a little bit of like a Scotch-Brite and just scuff this thing up.
Yeah.
But we'll let Mother Nature do that. As much as I love me old duct tape hold-up job with the bumper, I'm a little worried that this is going to just fall off at the most inopportune time, tearing off our bumper. So I want to figure out a solution here, but this is rabbit hole territory because I can tell you right away, we do have ourselves, you can see, a problem. This what holds up the bumper is completely rusted out. So I need to figure out what to do here, DP.
I know what'll fix it, PT. Duct tape.
A self-tapper? I seriously wasn't kidding about the self-tapper. This is what you can do when you have yourself a vehicle of this nature. Now, there it is. See it right there?
Yeah.
Oh, I lost it already.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh.
That's
Pop it in there. Look at the gap here. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, DP, it's too short. Is it too short?
Nah, you're fine.
We're just gonna leave it like that. But look at this gap. Oh no. Yeah, do we even clean this off or do we just leave it? I think we do. With this Integra pretty much done, we have one last thing to do, and that is try to encapsulate as much of the rusty mess that is this vehicle. And with that, we are going to be going with FluidFilm. And FluidFilm is a wool wax protectant and penetrant that you can use to coat your entire vehicle, or as you saw us use spots here and there. We love the black stuff. It does come in two colors. This is more of like a clear, almost like tan color, where the black pretty much does an amazing job of encapsulating and kind of like hiding it and making your underside look like new. There are also places that do spray FluidFilm, so you don't have to. We're gonna use an aerosol can, but as you can see, we do have one of these bad boys set up. The trouble with this is, in our shop, it's a little too airborne, and then we gotta clean up our white floor, so we're gonna stick to the little guys, and most of you guys will be using these guys as well. That is pretty much the entire underside here. I used a can and a half, and man, it's so easy to apply. What I really love about FluidFilm is the fact that it tacks up. So you can see it's a little wet right now. We've had a little bit of dripping, but it only drips because I oversprayed it in a bunch of spots. But when it tacks up, it's really like nice and thick. The water doesn't really affect it too much. Like, it doesn't wash off very quickly. So it is kind of our favorite go-to for, you know, rust protection for the wintertime or the fall, or any vehicle that sees any type of like water moisture. This is our favorite stuff. Integra is sitting on the ground, and Dave had to give it a quick wash because, well, it was just a tad dirty. We wanted to kind of show you what this vehicle truly looks like, and the paint is, well, it's a little bit better clean, has slightly more shine, but otherwise it is still beat up. I just noticed this thing has a black roof.
You never noticed that?
I didn't even notice it because it was just like so junky to me. The clear coat is just gone everywhere. It's wild, but it's got that like true patina on it. I think the front lip actually looks pretty damn good. You know, these things do lack front lips from the factory, and I think this one just really finishes off the front end. Going back to the OE lights, you know, it certainly looks better. It's pretty low key. I think the right call was going with the silver on the ITR wheels, because white, you know, I just don't feel would have been the right look on this type of car. We're going subtle, and we've done that. Now, speaking of center caps, you can see they're missing. They were white. So I went into the stash, found some silver paint, which I think was like roll bar paint, and spray bombed these, cleaned them up because they were white originally. Got some Acura logos. I feel like I've put more effort into the center caps than the rest of the exterior of this car, but they're not exactly perfect, but they're close enough, DP. What do you think?
Plenty close.
That color is pretty close, and as you can see, it finishes the wheel off, I think, just nicely. Got that patina on those red calipers as well. Yeah. There's patina everywhere on this thing, but I like it. I dig it. It's kind of a cool little sleeper, you know, beater looking car. So for me, I guess the last thing we need to do here is cut to the beauties, and then we're going for a ride. Back on the road here, DP.
Yes, guy. Let's. Well, I guess we can't rip tech yet, can we? Because you gotta let the motor warm up a bit.
I got a little too much mechanical sympathy. There's a lot of guys that say, send it. It's summertime. It's warm enough, but
yeah,
we want to let that oil flow a little bit. Bring it up to.
It's a good call.
Bring it up to temp. The first noticeable difference is the engine mounts.
Yes.
There's a little bit more vibration.
There is, yes.
But the drivetrain now feels so much tighter where when I make a shift,
yeah,
it's not like as sloppy as it was. Like, look at that. It just feels tighter. And we didn't do anything to the shifter.
Yes. So it's all just reduction in the rocking of the engine and transmission.
Which is really nice to have. So really the only drawback is you get a little bit more vibration at idle.
Just at idle, and
yeah.
Honestly, who really cares? I'll take the better shifter feel over a little vibration, and
and
especially
just
in a car like this.
Yeah, because those engine mounts were so shod. So,
and wow, these NX Fast Road Pros ride really well on these rough roads. I was a little concerned that the spring rates were going to be too high. It's 15K front, 7 or 8K rear. I can't remember which, but those are not insignificant spring rates. But it feels really good.
Oh, it does. Yeah,
I'm amazed because these roads here are atrocious, as we tell you about every episode. But yeah, the ride quality is excellent. Hear that little bit of, just a tiny bit.
That was it there, exactly.
That's your engine now.
Exactly. So the car feels so much tighter.
Oh, God,
this thing is ready for the racetrack.
Ready for the autocross.
It's just amazing when you do these small little mods to the bushings and everything and just replace like 25-year-old stuff.
Yeah.
It just changes the whole character of the car. It's tighter, it feels better, like it's just so nice.
Yeah.
So, and the brakes, they are feeling good. We've got, full Type R set up, so
good-sized brakes.
That's really nice to have.
Fresh Pro Series OE Plus pads, which do seem to have good bite.
Let's just give this thing a little beans. Oh yeah.
Oh,
dude, so much better.
Yeah, it rips pretty good.
So much better.
It rips really good.
Actually feels proper.
It does.
The crossover is there.
Yep.
It doesn't like lag out.
Yep.
It's quicker than it was before, for sure.
Back to what a GSR should feel
Yeah,
like, 100% for sure.
And listen to that intake, got some good induction noise.
A little bit of induction noise.
Yeah,
They're not
it's
as
not
loud
like AEM short ran where it
exactly.
just really has like that trumpety sound,
Exactly.
right?
It doesn't have that sound, but it does have a much more OE look to it, and they're proven to make power on the dyno
Exactly.
too, which is why guys
and
like them.
the exhaust, like you can barely hear it, right?
It's the quietest exhaust I've ever heard.
All right, let's see. Listen, it's just like
it's almost OEM
there's almost
levels of
more
quiet.
induction noise.
I'm blown away how quiet that exhaust is.
Yeah,
this is the most adult.
Oh, I love it.
Refined exhaust
I've
ever heard on a Honda. Oh, God.
The tires grip up, DP.
They do. They're so grippy. I'm like, are we gonna break an axle?
Wow. The tires grip up.
They do. Yeah, this is it. This is an aggressive street tire for this kind of a build.
But
you can definitely rip some tech in this thing.
It's
fun.
These engines always surprise me. They make no torque, and the horsepower for today's figures is so low, but they're so fun.
Yeah.
It's really about the driving nostalgia and the feel of it. And you know what? Like, these cars are definitely punch above their rating. They do. They feel so good, man.
And they feel so light and nimble. They've got like the low dash, the great visibility. And they're fast enough to be fun, but they're not so fast that you're gonna go to jail. Yeah. Like it's kind of a sweet spot.
They rev out.
Yeah. You get cool noises, you get the nostalgic design. It's all good in our books, but obviously we're from an era where we're nostalgic for these cars, and I get why, the younger guys maybe are more into the 8th and 9th gen Civics and stuff like that, but still do see some young guys cruising around in these old beauties. So keep the Honda love alive, everyone. Keep it alive. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick restoration of this DB8 Integra. I know I really enjoyed it. What a cool looking thing. I think the patina out here in the sunlight looks really good too. It's got a little piece of my heart, I'm not gonna lie. In fact, we like this car so much, we are thinking about, and I gotta emphasize the thinking about part of turbo K-swapping this car. But we gotta get the views to justify it, everyone, because that's like a $10,000 job. So we need you guys to like and subscribe and to bump these numbers up. We gotta get these rookie numbers up, guys. So share this video with all of your Honda friends, with all of your car friends. Heck, share it with your grandma. Get us to 100K views and we guarantee you this thing will get a turbo K-swap. And you know what, if we get 1 million views, all-wheel drive turbo K-swap, everybody.
Now you're talking.
Thank you very much for watching, guys, and thank you FluidFilm for making this build possible.